but like the slave masters instilled Christianity into black people, and then for generations it just became
habit.
right.
I think that
All right, Shalom. There's a brother Nahoya from the GMS Orlando camp. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yashar Allah, and a sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwath, who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Yahweh is the name of the one they ignorantly call God. Yahweh Shai is the name of the one they ignorantly call Jesus. Bahashem is in the name. Rakah is spirit. Kodash is holy. Akyam is brothers. Akwath is sisters. Shalom means peace, and Yashar Allah is Israel in the ancient Paleo-Hebrew. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 4. For if he that cometh preacheth another Jesus, or another Yahweh Shai, whom we have not preached, or if ye receive another spirit, which ye have not received, or another gospel, which ye have not accepted, ye might well bear with it. All right, and I want to go into this through the spirit because, again, Christianity has been weaponized chiefly against our people, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, who are the children of Israel. But it was also used, like it mentioned in that clip, to basically colonize the world, to justify what they did to the other nations. You know, that whole manifest destiny doctrine, you know, and what you saw in this video was really it was twofold, right? Because it shows how Christianity was weaponized against our people. But it also highlights how our people use that fact to be in open rebellion, you know, and that's what you saw from that female, if you will, Amber Rose. You know, she was basically justifying her rebellion to the scriptures because of the narrative of Christianity, which isn't the truth. All right, so let's go here. This is John chapter 8, and I'm gonna jump down to verse 32. And it reads, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. All right. And that's the time that we're in through the spirit, where the Lord is giving the truth to a remnant of our people. Not all of our people understand this gospel. Not all of our people are willing to understand it. And what you saw in that video, what you saw in that clip, was that you have our people who use that as a guise to rebellion. Again, this is John 8 and 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Now, I want to go here, too. All right. This is Romans chapter 10 and verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to Yahweh Shema Shai for Israel is that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of Yahweh Shema Shai, but not according to knowledge. All right. And Christianity was a narrative. All right. Because when you look at Christianity, it's in the business of making money. And that's why they don't tell you about the children of Israel. All right. Prophecy, the tabernacle of David. They leave a lot of those details out. All right. Because, again, it's a business. They're not in the business of telling you the truth. And when you look at the origin of plantation Christianity, it was used to justify and maintain you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in your captivity. And a lot of our people use that as a reason to throw away the scriptures in its entirety, because they at one point were deceived by the narrative of Christianity. All right. This is matter of fact, let's go here. This is Romans chapter 11 and verse 7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. All right. Because, again, Christianity, the Lord used that snare. All right. The Lord used that because, again, the deceived and the deceiver belong to Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. But now we're in a time where the Lord is casting down those strongholds. He's casting down those imaginations. But only the elect have the eye solve to see through that madness. All right. And as you go precept upon precept, you find out that Christianity has nothing to do with the scriptures. All right. It's a misunderstanding of a handful of scriptures when you really break it down. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 25 and verse 7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. All right. Now let's go here. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 25. In verse 7, we're going to go into that word veil. All right. And that word veil is Masayaka, Masaka, Salakia, if I'm mispronouncing it, it says a pouring, libation, molten metal cast, image, drink offering, libation, molten metal, molten image, molten gods, web, covering, veil, woven stuff. Now, see, Christianity is a doctrine, all right? It's a narrative. And ultimately, it blinds, it's used, all right, to put this covering cast, this veil over the people, so that they believe that the one that they ignorantly call God and his only begotten son are coming to save everybody, and anybody can be saved. That's a veil, because when you look at the scriptures, as the scriptures say, all right, there's prophecy. The Lord judges not only people, but nations. Hell is another doctrine that's used in Christianity, all right, to exploit the people, all right, to basically extort the people as well. And what you find out is that that doctrine in itself is an outdated doctrine that has turned into a business. All right. And it has nothing to do with salvation. It has nothing to do with the truth of the scriptures. And it's just a farce. All right. And what you can see twofold in that clip was that, at one point, Christianity was used to weaponize to keep our people in a docile state of mind. Yet that has nothing to do with the scriptures. Because basically what Amber Rose was doing in that clip was she was using that to justify the reason for her not wanting to be obedient to the law, statutes, and commandments in the scriptures. All right. As the scriptures say, our people are rebellious children. All right. So they went out to establish their own righteousness. All right. And they've forsaken the righteousness of Yahweh by Shema Shai. Because you ask the average Negro, Latino, or Native American if they believe in God, they'll tell you, yeah, but then they'll tell you they don't believe in the Bible. So how do you know what your God believes? I mean, what's the standard of your God if you don't believe in the Bible? You just believe that there's the universe. Like that's a deception. That's a part of that veil, that covering cast. Esau uses these many doctrines and these many narratives to keep people distracted, all right, and cast away. Real quick, I'm going to go back to Romans, the 10th chapter. All right, and I'm going to start up again at verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to Yahweh by Shema Shai for Israel is that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of Yahweh by Shema Shai, but not according to knowledge. For they, being ignorant of Yahweh by Shema Shai's righteousness, and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of Yahweh by Shema Shai. And that's exactly what you have playing out in these last days through the Spirit. You got a lot of people, all right, who are establishing their own righteousness, but they're forsaking the righteousness of Yahweh by Shema Shai. And that's what you saw in that clip. In that clip, you saw the rebelliousness of Jake. All right. Matter of fact, that reminds me of this, too, because they heap themselves teachers. They have itching ears. They want to hear smooth things. They don't want to actually hear the truth. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 8. Now go, write it before them in a table and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever, that this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of Yahweh by Shema Shai, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. And it shows you that our people are rebellious, all right, that they're lying children, all right, they don't subscribe to the will of the Heavenly Father, but they believe that they can establish their own righteousness, and the Lord is going to accept that. And that's one. At one point you saw in that clip, she just threw out some random so-called fact, and it wasn't even a fact. It's talking about humans that have been around for 6 million years when the earliest writings were 6,000 years ago. When you look at what these people have accepted as fact, it's really chiefly dealing with our people. It's really just their excuse to justify rebellion. That's really what it boils down to. It's their excuse to have their own standard and not fall under the standard of the Lord. And that's why ultimately 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed, man. All right. Matter of fact, let's go back to Romans 10 and I'm going to jump down to verse 3. For they, being ignorant of Yahweh by Shema Shai's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of Yahweh by Shema Shai. All right. And that's why ultimately they're going to have to learn this through death by pain, because this captivity was written in the scriptures. It's ironic, right, that they use, at one point in that clip, they said, Christianity was used to justify slavery. Well, slavery is in the scriptures. It was prophesied that we would go into slavery, just like it's prophesied we would put our enemies into slavery. But these are things that aren't mentioned in mainstream plantation Christianity, because, again, they're in the business of business. They're not in the business of telling people the truth according to the scriptures. All right, this is Jeremiah 30:16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. And this is just a short example of how slavery is in the scriptures, us going into slavery, and then ultimately us having the other nations in subjection. But when you look at our people's countenance, especially when the scriptures come up, it's really just their reasoning to be rebellious. So they use this disinformation that Esau put out there to justify why they want to be in a rebellious state. She mentioned humans have been around for 6 million years. So it took 5 million years of some change, for people to start writing, because the earliest writings were found 6,000 years ago. So so people were here millions of years and they ain't write nothing, ain't have a language, ain't leave anything outside of bones behind. But again, our people heap to themselves teachers having itching ears, because ultimately they want somebody to justify their rebellion. And that's what Esau's done ultimately. He's used this deception in this world to justify rebellion and to make the people believe there is no consequence to rebellion. And that video was a clean cut example of the rebelliousness of our people, man. Because yes, Christianity was used to weaponized against us, yet it has nothing to do with the scriptures. It's not precept upon precept. And that's why the scriptures say the Lord set up the apostles last, as it were, appointed unto death. All right. Let's get this. 2 Corinthians 4:3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of Yahweh Shai, should shine unto them. So ultimately, the Lord has blinded the minds of our people, because, again, these are those same children that said, let his blood be upon us and our children. All right. These are the same ones who every time we went into we got saved from the captivities, they would go right back into rebellion. And Esau just gave them license to be who they always wanted to be in the first place. All right. So Lord willing, this was edifying. I just want to go into that through the Spirit. With that, I'll give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rukakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasher Allah, and a sincere salutation to all Yuakim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwath, who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Shalom.